Want to know all the details about Smith Mountain Lake?
Stay tuned to find out. Hey, it's Hal Cohn.
And Chris Cohn with Cohn Realty Group.
Hey, if this is your first time to our channel, please make sure you click that subscribe button and that bell icon so you're notified each and every time we release a new video about living, working, and playing in the amazing Roanoke Valley and Smith Mountain Lake.
Absolutely, and if you're interested in moving to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, or Smith Mountain Lake, please give us a call. We would love to help you out and answer any questions you may have.
So you might be wondering, what is all the fuss about Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia? We're going to tell you all about the details, its history, things to do, etc. here at Smith Mountain Lake today.
Yeah, the Smith Mountain Lake is just a hidden gem right here in the Roanoke Valley, and I tell you what, we have it all. We have mountains, we have lakes, we have activities, we have sporting, tons of things to do. We're gonna hit some of the high points so you know all about Smith Mountain Lake before your first visit.
All right, let's give you all the details on Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia here today.
It is such a perfect day, and there's so many sunny days here on the lake. But they say life is better on the lake, right?
That's right, yes. There's a different mentality when it comes to lake living.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna give some of those details about Smith Mountain Lake so you can make an educated decision when you think about recreating here or actually moving and living here.
Absolutely, yeah. I love going over stats, whether it's showing a home or talking about something like this. I want to give you some stats real quick. It's 40 miles long. It's a 20,000 acre lake with 500 miles of shoreline.
That's a lot of shoreline.
I know, and you'll see beautiful homes close to and pretty far back from the shoreline, so lots of varied residential opportunities along the lake. Very beautiful. Some of the highest normal water level is right around 800 feet above sea level.
Okay.
And it holds 200 billion gallons of water.
200 billion.
Yes.
Holy Toledo.
All right, so at its deepest point, how deep do you think it would be?
It's 250 feet, I think, if I remember correctly. I
You
did look at
read-
those
you
stats before
read
I came.
the
I did, yeah.
stats. Oh.
Good memory, Hal.
All right, let's talk about water temperature. It's about 73 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer, which would be very refreshing, and 41 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter. Average rainfall is about 43 inches a year. So
Okay.
not very much, in my opinion, depending on where you are, right?
Yes.
And then snowfall. We do have a little snow here. We average, I mean, it really fluctuates, but we average around 10 inches. But what's different about our snow? Does it stick around?
No, it does not
No.
stick around, and we always make the joke, if you watch any of our other videos, it becomes a Hallmark holiday, right? Everything pretty much shuts down, you have some hot cocoa, you watch Hallmark movies, and you go sledding if you get enough for that.
Yeah, and I bet that would be beautiful, watching the snowfall all around the lake and seeing the lake look so beautiful and peaceful.
It would just pop.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, let's dive right into the dam. Why is Smith Mountain Lake even in existence?
For power.
That's right.
We need energy.
It was created, it's a man-made lake. It was created to generate power and electricity. It was a damming of the Blackwater and the Roanoke rivers in 1963, and it took about 2.5 years to complete.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was 5 hydroelectric power generating units. So this is really generating a lot of power for the region, and it produces 656,000 kilowatts of energy of electricity.
That just sounds like a lot to me.
Yes.
Good job.
So let's talk about that used water. The used water that rushes downstream is caught by the Leesville Dam, which is a smaller dam below Smith Mountain Dam, and the water is pumped back into the Smith Mountain Lake and used again.
So this man-made lake has become Virginia's most popular lake. And you can see why. I mean, if you look at the majestic views behind us here, you've got water, you're just plunged down here at the base in a valley area. You've got mountains up on each side of you. So no matter where you're cruising around on the lake here, you're gonna see those majestic mountain views, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, you hear us talk about it all the time. We love the mountains, and we are starting to become lovers of the lake today too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I grew up around here too, doing water skiing and swimming on the lake, and it's just a perfect place. But let's talk about if you can obviously own a home here. We talked about that, but there's other opportunities to visit too, right?
Yeah, you don't have to live here full time, but there are 22,000 full-time residents here around Smith Mountain Lake. But if you just want to come visit, you've got long-term rentals, you've got short-term rentals. That could be a condo, that could be like a one-bedroom Airbnb, depending on what side of the lake you're on. So you can just come down here and visit for a week, a month, a couple days.
Right.
You're gonna have options so that you can test out the water and just enjoy vacationing and relaxing. Because we've seen a lot of people relaxing here at Smith Mountain Lake today.
Absolutely. I feel out of place. We need to be in our bathing suit, not your bow tie.
Yeah, I mean, who came up with our wardrobe today?
Another thing too, we have a lot of campgrounds around the area, state parks, private campgrounds. So if that's your thing, we love camping. This is a great place to check that out.
Yeah, lots of private ones. There's also Smith Mountain Lake State Park. So you can find private and public state parks with hiking and those types of things.
Yeah, and then, so you were talking about dipping in earlier.
Yes.
The water temperatures really are wonderful for swimming. You're talking generally May through September time frame, and it's a beautiful place to be. We're kind of stuck here because we want you to see some of the water activities, and we're seeing jet skis go by and pontoon boats and party boats and cigar boats, all kinds of stuff. It's so much fun. I want to be out on the water.
Yes, and they're cruising in behind us to go to Bridgewater Marina so they can get food, they can get gas, that type of thing to power up for the rest of the day here on the lake.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of those activities, those water activities you can participate in.
All right, so if you want to talk about water activities, we've got wakeboarding, we've got skiing, we've got just swimming, we've got just lounging on the lake and cruising around, right?
Yeah, power boating, canoeing. One of our clients loves sailing. This is her place. She loves to come out here and sail. You can parasail, swim, fish. Fishing as a sport out here is fantastic. Really great spot. And also, we said water skiing, jet skiing. Did you say that?
No, I didn't.
It's
Paddleboarding.
a lot of fun, yes.
I mean, there's so many. You just name it, you're like, wow, okay, you can do that, you can do that, you can do that. And I will tell you, we are at a main channel here today,
Right.
so that's why you're seeing the fastness and the
traffic.
briskness of the traffic today. But there are coves, there are great places around here that you don't have all this traffic, where you can sail and you can do these other things that are gonna be, when you get a whole lot of wake, it's gonna be prohibitive for that.
Yeah, and I really like that. Like a lot of my friends' houses, they're on these, nestled in these little coves, and it's very quiet. This is where I learned to do stand-up paddleboarding. Not so well, but I did it.
Did you go for a dip?
No, I didn't. I never fell, but I never felt very comfortable on it. But I also went kayaking, and it was just serene and gentle, peaceful, quiet. So wonderful place to check out those little coves. So you can, and that's again, you can tailor your activities for what you're interested in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So another thing is there's a lot of off-water activities that you can do all around the Smith Mountain Lake area. We're not going to dive into that because we have a whole video on just things to do here. But just know that there's a lot of activities for the family, for retirees, for singles. There's also, if you're into sporting like fishing, there's golfing. Lots of opportunities for golfing in the area, right?
Yes, there is golfing, whether you want to go to Roanoke. There's like 5 golf courses, if I remember correctly, off the top of my head here at Smith Mountain Lake proper. So you can go golfing, then you can go swimming and boating for the rest of the day, or vice versa. You're gonna have options.
That's right.
And everybody loves options, especially when you're vacationing. So you might be wondering, where is Smith Mountain Lake actually located? Well, glad you asked, because we're gonna tell you right now. So the lake actually borders, the shoreline borders Franklin, Bedford, and Pennsylvania counties here in Southwest Virginia.
Yes, absolutely. Short drive from Roanoke or any surrounding areas. So that's what I like about the lake. You can access it from various locations. I will say though that it is really sprawled out, the lake is. So as we talk about amenities and things, just keep that in mind. Sometimes it might take a little longer to get to certain places if you're going from one side of the lake to the other, right?
That is an excellent point. So don't think you're gonna have, and depending on where you live at the lake, or you're staying, you may be 5 minutes from Kroger, or you may be 30 minutes from Kroger.
Yeah.
So take that into account as you're planning your trip, or as you're looking to purchase a property here at the lake.
I will say it is very close to Ferrum College, which is where I went to school in Franklin County. Fantastic college. I want you to check that out. But one thing that we studied, for my background was environmental science, so in one of our aquatic classes, we went out and we would study every year the water quality of the lake, and it truly is excellent. It just really fantastic water quality, so rest assured that you can have wonderful fun on a clean lake, right?
Yeah, so if you fall in and you take under a lot of water, guess what? Not going to hurt you. You got good water quality.
That's right.
Drink it up.
So when we're talking about location, you had talked about some amenities. You're really not going to lack anything around here. You've got some retail stores and services around the lake. Most everything are concentrated around Route 122, but again, things are spread out, so there's other amenities you can get to that are outside of that.
Yeah, so you're going to have restaurants, you're going to have grocery stores, you're going to have retail, you're going to have
banks,
health and medical facilities, urgent care, you know, you're going to have dentist offices, attorneys. I mean, it's like its own little bubble here, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, come on by. We've got people coming and going. It's awesome. I love to see the activity here today. But yeah, so anything from if you're a long-term resident or if you need something just to pick up while you're here visiting for the weekend, it is going to be here. You're not in the middle of nowhere. So I want to touch on medical real quick.
Yeah.
Because there's an urgent care center and a medical evaluation helicopter with 2 helipads. So that's always important to keep in mind. You've got the regional and community hospitals nearby, and then teaching hospitals at the University of Virginia and Duke. So that's about 2.5 hours away.
So we want to make sure that when you visit Smith Mountain Lake, you do understand, or if you're living here, there are going to be some events that you can actually attend to have some fun in the evenings or during the day, depending on what your schedule looks like.
Yeah, and again, we have a whole video just on things to do, but we wanted to highlight some of the events that Smith Mountain Lake is really, really known for. And they're fun. Come on out, enjoy it for the day, the weekend, or you know, if you live here, just come stay the whole time.
So let's talk about some of the movies that have been filmed here at Smith Mountain Lake, because it is so gorgeous and beautiful and provides such a great backdrop for those movies, right?
Definitely. Independent film called Lake Effects. I want to check that out. I haven't seen it. The movie that you probably have seen is What About Bob? Remember with Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss? So,
absolutely hysterical.
1991.
Wow, it seems like yesterday.
That's right. Even though the comedy in the movie, they said it was a lake in New Hampshire, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was really here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Lawless in 2012, that exaggerates prohibition.
And totally fitting, right? For those of you who don't know, we got part of it is in Franklin County, which is the moonshine capital of the world.
Yeah, this is the moonshine capital of the world, so what better place to film that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of those events. I know one thing that you're looking forward to. What is it?
Pirate Days! Arr, matey! So it's boats with water fights and water cannons, right?
Yes. Could you imagine a whole weekend of pretending you're a pirate on the water?
That would be so much fun. Yeah, we're gonna have to come check that out.
Yes, and there's things like a poker run and the wine festival. I am definitely there. Smith Mountain Lake Wine Festival. This is a very popular event, as well as there's a charity home tour. Wouldn't you love to get a sneak peek of some of these gorgeous homes?
Yeah.
I know I would.
Maybe we could sell a couple of them.
And then Night at the Races, it's a fundraiser for the Rotary Club. That would be really fun. It's like, you know, Kentucky Derby-ish style, so you've got that theme going.
Nice.
I could wear my lovely bonnets.
Yes, you love some bonnets, and I got the bow tie going on, so that'd be fit right in, right?
That's right. And one thing that you would love is the chili festival.
Oh yeah.
So that would be good. And where do we go see? You know, there's live music everywhere. There's going to be live music at some of these bars and restaurants and places that feel like little tiki bars, and on the docks, I'm sure, too. But where's the one place that we just went and enjoyed a great concert outdoors?
So I surprised this one, and she was really surprised. We went to the Coves Amphitheater.
At Smith Mountain
And who did we
Lake.
see?
We saw Kenny G. It was a beautiful night under the stars, and just an intimate setting and great live music. It was fantastic. Had a wonderful time.
Perfect weather. It's in Union Hall, so it's like a hop, skip, and a jump around the lake. So definitely want to check that out while you're here.
So it has been such a fun day talking about all about the things to do at Smith Mountain Lake and just about it, learning more about it. And it makes me want to take a dip in the water. What do you think?
Yep, I brought my suit. Let's go get changed and jump on in.
There you go.